Hi. Phaedra, you're here. Hi. Hi, everybody. Wait, I need to pull you guys closer. I'm ready for it. Fire Butterfly, you said that you were going to, hi, Bang Luna. Fire Butterfly, I thought you were going to send me a DM on Patreon. I did not get it. So please resend it. Okay. Mm, hi, Phaedra, Leah, Debbie, Lilac, Darren, Beth, Summer, Robin, O, Shelling, Arlene. I feel sorry for all of you fighting sleep to be here. I am so, so, so grateful that you guys are actually staying up for me. Thank you so much. I'm doing another. Oh, wait. I haven't said say hello to everybody yet. Amy, Han, OSP, um, Lakeisha, Cindy, Lindsay, Eve, Bang Luna, the Bio Explorer, Celeste. Celeste is on Twitch. Angel Star, Jean, Fire Butterfly. I did not. You told me that you were going to send me a DM about grammar on Patreon, but I didn't get it. Just send it, resend it if you maybe I don't know something, but I didn't show it. I mean, I did not get it. Okay. Jean Mark, MJD, Warren, Leah, Jelma, Desha, Debbie, something fresh. Some wait, you told me how to pronounce this. Someone fresh. Someone fresh. Namhar, Diana. I think I'm missing some people. Michelle, Darlene, I Pablo, The Bio Explorer, BTS Forever 7, Personal Space, Halina, Nil Vanil, Eva, Danji, Kim Muning, Dodger Girl is also on Twitch. Shell, Amy Cohen, hi, Jelma, Claudia, Beth. Sorry to miss the concerts. I have plans for BTS concert. That is fine, Beth. Dulcir, KAG, Crystal, Rhea, Diana, Shell, Hand Painted Paints, Diana. Sorry, I keep on mentioning your name repeatedly. Fire, Phoenix, KT Dreams, Caribbean Lady, Jazz, Desha, BTS Eden, Lara, Teresa, Elaine, Danji, Yi Chan, Heidi G, Mickey, um, Belle, Saskia, Samuel, KAG, Hoan. It was about charity. It was about charity in the name of men and okay. Fire Butterfly. Okay. Shell. Okay. Jonah, Summer, Lara, Yvonne, Julie, TLT, Lilac. It says 288 on mine now already. Hi, everybody. I'm really grateful that you guys are here. I know I stream late, but as you know, I do have a full time job. So, Jazz, Elizabeth, Marianne, Carla Girl, Viv, Me Too, Laura, Ray, Elvira, Char, um, okay, share your love. Okay. So, first things first, who are, maybe I should start sharing. This is not it. Okay, here. Hi, who is Olivia Marsh? She is the sister of a member of of newjeans. But before we get to that, I just want to call your attention to Jimin's Who. We are 1 week away from tying a record that has been there for like 10 years, for more than 10 years, which is Psy's record. He is the longest charting solo Korean solo artist, Korean native solo artist in Billboard Hot 100. He has been there for over the record has stayed for over 10 years, and his song Gangnam Style charted for 31 weeks. And Jimin is 1 week away from breaking that record. So I want to ask everybody again, please make sure Fire Butterfly shifted to Twitch. Celeste is on Twitch as well. So I just want to remind everybody again to make sure that you actually get take advantage of the free trial of different streaming platforms. So for me right now, so I have two paid, right? I have Apple Music and I have Amazon Music. For this one, I am using, this is my main phone, my main personal phone. I am using Apple Music. Okay, so this is my longest streaming subscription. And then the only time I did not subscribe was when I was living in a car because I was really trying to save money. That's why I was living in a car. And then I have an iPad, which is what I'm using for Amazon Music. So it would just be, hi, Madeline. So it would just be streaming all day. There will be days, there will be hours when I won't stream so that I don't get marked as a bot. So sometimes I would turn it off. And then in here, so this is my work phone. This is what I use for Asian entertainment, for any business, interviews, communication with whatever clients and all of those stuff. I have Tidal, Tidal, Tidal. So here, there. So I'm streaming Who plus 1 billion. So as you know, we're trying to rank, we're trying to push some songs to 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. So I in between, like in between, I hope you're seeing it. So in between, like all of the songs, Jimin's Who would be the songs that we're trying to push to 1 billion. So especially the Young line. Okay. So make sure you take advantage of that. And then, so after this, so it's 1 month. After this, I'm going to shift to Napster. And then I'm going to shift to Pandora. Now, my mom is, so she just, as you know, she moved here last year and now she wants her own premium streaming. So I might get her Spotify just so I can have Spotify in my house. So I might get her that. Oh, Lilac, good night. Good night. So I do have an Echo. I have an Echo as well, an Amazon Echo. So please take advantage of that, so that don't think that just because I think this month, sorry, this week, who is on number 36. That is not sure yet because Billboard Hot 100 has not released, unless I haven't seen on X. But usually Billboard Hot 100 would release their entire list on Tuesday unless they publish it on X. Sometimes they publish it. But so don't think that just because he is on number 36 or something that it's that number that the 31st week is a given. It is not a given. Remember what they did to him the last time. They can do it again to him. So please make sure that you stream. Okay, please make sure that you stream. Stream, yes, stream like crazy. Not the song, but the behavior. Stream like crazy. Okay, please do that. And also, I am not, just want to make it clear, I am not worried about Jimin overtaking Dynamite, because Dynamite is the number one song with the longest charting song inside Billboard Hot 100 at 32 weeks. I am not worried for that at all, because our goal should be to push the bar higher, right? So we can't stay at 32 weeks forever. As you know, there are many other artists that are being supported by Western labels that are dying to get that record, and they will do everything and anything that they can to snatch that record. So if anybody is going to snatch the record, it might as well be BTS. Number two, the as I've said, the goal is to set the bar higher. And so, okay, so if Jimin overtakes Dynamite, fine. And then in the next comeback of BTS is going to take that record again. And then the individual members will do a comeback, and some of them will overtake the record again. So I'm not worried for that. Not at all. I am so confident of their skill and of their popularity. They will not have any problem overtaking again. So let's just keep on setting the bar higher. Okay. Also, as I've said, as you know, BTS does not pay for playlisting. They don't pay for Spotify spots or whatever. So it's all up to us. So they want their songs to rank and to get records organically, honestly. So that's it for us. Let's stop whining about not getting playlisting, because that's not what BTS is all about. They don't want that. They don't want to pay for playlisting. They don't want to pay for ads, for automatic views, for automatic streams. So we will have to actually stream to make up for the things that they don't want to do. Okay. So Kat Eddie said BTS's music in 2025, their first single, will break all records. Of course. That is the entire point. Next time they release a record, a song, they are going to break the record again. So also vote for Are You Sure in iHeartRadio. Also vote for Jimin's Who for best composition, I think, or best lyrics or best composition. So please vote. And then they're nominated for several other things. So just please go there. Here. Just let me see if I can actually show it to you. Are you all ready for his for J-Hope's concert? Oh, where's my voting? So go here, and then this is or all the nominees. So you can just vote. I'm sorry, I'm going to make you dizzy, but you can vote. I hope you're seeing it. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can find the voting. Are you all ready for the concert? I am not quite ready. So also that's one of the things that I want to discuss with you, because um because okay. So let's go back. I will look for the okay. I will look for the iHeart link later, but please don't forget to vote. Fire Butterfly said, I forgot I had Amazon Music. Vote for Jimin. Okay. So outside of that, of course, please stream J-Hope song, LV Bag. So this is kind of like a puzzle to me, because I've always thought that March, remember he teased us for March 7 for on TikTok. He showed March 7. And so I thought, okay, March 7 is when he's going to actually release the album, his next album. But I feel like if they're going to release the album on March 7, by now they should be announcing the next album and it should be on sale. But it's not. So so I'm not really quite sure what's going to happen in March 7. It could be another collaboration or something because I feel like Pharaoh and others are actually joining in the teaser of March 7. They could be collaborating with J-Hope, I'm not sure. But um I don't know what's going to happen in March 7, but I feel like if it's an album, it should have been available by now because we're like 2 weeks away from that. And it hasn't actually been released yet. So let's just wait for what's going to happen. Um KAG, it's very confusing, so I'm scared I will lose my money. I don't want to miss out. Okay, so they said Juliet said maybe March 7 is something that we're waiting, a new surprise that we are waiting. Oh, we have a viewer on X. Oh, that's not here. We have a viewer on X. I would think pre-sale would have started too. Yeah, that's what I think. Like if that is supposedly the album release, then it should be available by now. They should be releasing it, but they're not. So I don't know what's happening on March 7th. So let's just have to wait. And also, um, I feel like this is J Hope. So he's always been unpredictable. So I'm surprised, but not surprised. So that's fine. We're just going to wait for him. Okay, plans. So I told you one of the things that I want to master is to actually plan my time during the live so that I'm able to cover all topics. So right now I'm going to be covering three topics. One topic I will leave out for the next live stream, which is the one about BTS. But I just want to go through some of the plans, the things that I'm planning for the OT7 reunion and all of those things. Okay, so first, for BTS OT7 reunion, I think this is just my gut feel. They're going to do something November, December, October, November, December. If they do something November, December in Korea, I'm going. So so if anybody is planning to go to Korea, I would love to go on a BTS tour with you guys in Korea, in Seoul. Um, so so let me know if that's what you're planning. Of course, the difficult thing, I guess, is that we don't know what they're planning here. We're gonna have to wait until they actually announce it for us to be able to for us to be able to plan. So but that is like that's what I want to do. If they have an activity November or December, I want to go to Korea. And then if anybody is flying in, then uh let's go on a BTS tour. Eva, yes, please. Elaine, yes. Charlene, okay, let's go. So Eva said, I'm going with you. Charlene said, I will go too. Elaine said, count me in. Yay! So so the question is, why not June? Just because my body really can't take their summer. I just can't. I will break down. The last time I was there for 3 weeks and I was sick for more than half of that. So I think I was sick for like maybe 2 weeks out of the three. And in the last week, in that one week that I wasn't sick, I was recovering from being sick. So it was so hard on my body. I just can't. The It's so brutal. The summer is brutal for me. So I just can't do it on any other month. Ray said yes. Eva said, KAG said, okay. So yes, okay. Yes, I'm so happy that some of you would go. So I will update you guys. Like once they make an announcement, I will start planning. And then whoever can go, let's go. Let's do a BTS tour. Let's go to the very first. I'm sure that some of you who've been there have also been to other BTS like places. But it would be nice for us to go together, especially cover some of the Eliza said she's going as well. Dodger Girl is asking, there's it's just too fast. So Dodger Girl is asking, when are you thinking about going to Korea? I think October, November, December. I think my body can take that. So I'm if they plan anything October, November, December, I'm going. For June, I just can't. As I've said already, my body just can't. I can't handle it. So even if I wanted to. The Bio Explorer said I wanted to go in between October to December. Yes, let's go. Is it Lai Leia or Laya? I'm planning to go for Festa as well and sticking around for Sugar Release. How about September? September, it's a little better. Maybe my body can take that already, so it's not that brutal. Usually, they said it's June, July, August are the worst. September, there's like it's still kind of hot, so I guess that's the only thing I'm worried about. But yeah, so my plan is to, if anybody can go, um if you want to travel, you have to have a travel insurance, Mickey said. So I will probably, yes, and then winter in Korea is really beautiful. And then so I want to go on a BTS tour, as I've said, so probably like the restaurant where they used to go to often, and then go to the their third dormitory, their third apartment, the one that was converted to a cafe. I actually posted that in my Patreon when I went there. Melanie is in X. Hi, Melanie. So, and then my Mahoan said my passport is ready. Let's go. So, and then let's go to the building, their original building. Let's go to the park where RM said he was screaming his heart out, his lungs out. So Phaedra said, I can't do heat either. I hibernate summer. So Phaedra, let's do winter. Or fall or winter. So yes, and so if you want to go jimin, so we can also go to Busan if you want. I also suggest Daegu because it's really so beautiful. And the only, like, I wasn't able to maximize my stay in Daegu because it was really so hot. That was the only problem. It was so hot that my body can't just take it. I was forcing myself to go out because I was like, we're here, might as well see things, see places. But there were so many places I could have gone that I couldn't because, like, I only can tolerate a certain number of hours in a day under that heat. So okay, so that is my plan. We can go like Seoul and then go to Busan, and then on our way back, drop by Daegu and then go back to. And then I heard Ilsan is about an hour and a half. So if you want to go to Ilsan as well, that's good. But yeah, that's my plan. I want to go to a Seoul, Korea, a Korea tour, a Korea BTS tour with you guys. So that's my plan. So I'll just make like Holly said I've been to Korea 2 times, so I know the places. Holly said September is still hot in Korea. I was there once in September. That is the hottest my body can take. It's not comfortable. It's not ideal for me, but I would very much prefer September over July, which was the last time I went. So Phaedra, Phaedra, you better come with us. So Phaedra, the Bio Explorer, please let's go. Daegu, you want to go to your bias hometown. Mickey, are you the one who keeps on insisting that my bias is Shoga? So I've been to Daegu, as I've said. So it's a really, really beautiful place. There's so many places to go to. It's just that I couldn't because of the heat. So I want to go back and sort of really explore the place. Um, is Korea as handicapped accessible as the U? As handicapped accessible, they are, yes. So all the train stations, all the subway stations are handicapped accessible, And yeah, I yes they are. Yes they are. The Bio Explorer said, "I can put on clothes. There are only so much I can you can take on." Okay, so that's the plan. Okay, that's my plan. So for the BTS tour reunion, and then like if they, for example, if they do a kickoff for their tour on December, then hopefully I could get tickets. If not, that's fine. So I will do a US meetup as well for the OT7. Phaedra said, Suga, he's everything. It should be all your bias. Okay, so and then I want to do a US meetup. So I feel like, so some of you I will be meeting in the concert of J-Hope, in J-Hope's concert in BMO. So I think that's like a good run for us because it's a little bit more intimate. There's just 16 of us, including my mom. So I think like that's a more controlled environment that, like it's the first time we're going to be meeting each other. So I think that's great. I don't know if Brown was, I hope so someone suggested that I do something. Wait, Brown Nuna. I don't know if she's here, but one second. So Brown Nuna actually suggested, is she here? Is Brown Nuna here? So Brown Nuna suggested that I do a lanyard for everybody who's going to be in the suite. So I'm already preparing some gift packs for you guys. And then, so in that gift pack is actually the first edition of the comic book that I'm writing with my niece. So, and then some BTS merch, like authentic BTS merch, not BTS merch that I made. Authentic BTS merch. And Carla girl, Brown Nuna. So Brown Nuna actually suggested that I do like a lanyard. So like the VIP, if you're a VIP, you will have a lanyard of your own. That will be given by the organizer. So I want to create like a lanyard for us, just for the ones that will be in the suite. And maybe that's something that we can do. Bang Luna actually, Carla Girl, also Brown Luna, is suggesting that you do that um, for the Dallas suite as well. Now I'm really sad. I won't. The Bio Explorer said, "Now I'm really sad. I wanted so." The other thing is, so I will do a lanyard, and then I do have gift packs for everybody. And I just want to be able to, like, you guys are the first. I would consider you guys like my first batch of, like, you are here from the very beginning, so that no matter what happens in the channel, and with the brand later on, I just always want to remember you guys, that you were the first people that supported me. So I want to give you something special. So that's why I'm doing all of this. Bang Luna said, it's a good idea, but I have no idea how to do it." So Bang Luna said, "I will go through that later." So okay. So and then, so I also plan on doing, am I done with my plans for, oh sorry, another plan. So for the sweet soul lanyard, Carla Girl Brown Nuna suggested that. So I'm preparing some giveaways. And then for those that are going to be in LA, I don't know how long you guys are staying here in LA, but if you want, we can go for a Korean barbecue. I know where J Hope went for a Korean barbecue. Again, I did not stalk him. Testing. Phaedra is testing. Thank you. I saw that, Phaedra. Thank you. So I know where J Hope went for a barbecue. I wasn't stalking him. People posted a photo of where he went. I just happen to know where it is because I go to Korean barbecue often. So I know where it was. So if you want, if you guys are staying, so the event, the suite is on a Friday. So if you guys are staying Saturday, let's go for a Korean barbecue if you guys want. Any Philo armies here? Holly said, "I have to go, but I would love to join when you plan going to Korea in fall. Have a good time. Bye." Bye, Holly. Okay, so anybody who's going to, Mickey said, I want to go too. Let's go. It'll be so fun. Like just going through. I think the best way to do it is to rent a van instead of do. I mean, we can take the subway too if you guys want. I guess walking would be great too. But the other option would be to just rent a van so that we can go around more conveniently and we can take our time, right? So if we rent the van or a mini bus, then we can just take our time and we can decide to change plans if we want to. Um, yes to Korean barbecue, Ray said. Ray, okay. So Hope Cafe and Agashi Gopchang. So yeah, so let's if you guys, so anyway, I will be talking with you guys on the 4th itself in inside the suite. So if you guys are game, and then some people are going to be not really far, but several, like some are in the city view lounge, city view suite. So they're not inside the suite. They're like 6 people. Oh, sorry, 4 people in the city view suite. So I guess it would be easy. Maybe they can allow me to go to the city view suite so that if people there want to join us, Seda, I think, is going to be in the city view suite. Then, or yeah. But anyway, there are 4 people in the city view suite on the 4th. I'll just go there, and if they want to join us for barbecue the next day. All right. You may get so many to join us that a van may not be it. A tour bus, perhaps, especially if you get a lot to join you. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. Like a tour bus would be great too. Actually, that would be great. A tour bus is actually better because it's like it's bigger, so we don't have to be so cramped inside. So that would be ideal. That is the ideal scenario, actually. So, but yeah, I mean, it seems that some of you are at least willing to do it. So let's do it. It would be really fun. It would be fun to go through like their journey. Um, we can also go to, um, I don't know if I can find the very first place where they had their first fan meet, where there were like 30 people there. If I find it, we'll go there as well. Do you have a Discord? No, I don't have Discord yet. I don't have Discord yet. I can open one. The only problem I have with my Discord is that it restream actually doesn't work with Discord yet. And Jordan, I sure want to join you. Can we meet before that? I will be down in the floor level. I hope. Yeah, we can meet. We can. I just don't know how, but I guess we can like open a Telegram or something so that we can communicate faster. Leah said, now I'm even sadder. I'm in New Zealand. Well, Leah, we can meet you in Korea. So, yeah, I hope that everybody can come and join the Korean one. Okay, next, future plans. So, I've started doing interviews, and the first 2 were published. One was published Saturday, and then I published one this morning. And I have several more coming up. And then I have an interview on Friday again. Now, the my plan is to eventually be able to live stream the interviews. So for Patreon only. Sorry. So for Patreon subscribers, I will be able to live stream the interviews. So it's going to be, so you'll see it unfiltered. So whatever we talk about there, the things that you will be able to see it. And also you can ask questions live, right? So on the spot, you can ask questions. I just need to sort of do a trial. This Friday, I am going to interview an IP and entertainment lawyer. So I don't know if I can do a live stream, but what I will do is post his profile on Patreon, and then you can ask questions about IPs, trademarks when it comes to BTS, is BT21, how it applies to the US or whatever. It's just that he is a US lawyer. He's not a Korean lawyer. But um, you can ask questions like in relation to their contract there, is it going to whatever you want to ask. I'll just ask it, and if he feels like he knows enough to answer, then he will answer. It would also be nice if you can ask it before Thursday, so I can give the question to him in advance, and maybe if he needs to research some things, he will be able to do that. Um, I watched the lawyer, so that lawyer is another lawyer. I have another lawyer. The one that I will be interviewing this Friday, is specifically an entertainment and IP lawyer. So eventually, my plan is to be able to live stream all of that, so that so that you guys can ask questions, and as I've said, you'll be able to watch everything unfiltered. Now, is there anybody here? So my next step is to get to the um, become a guest. So I extended an invitation to everybody to become my guest. So I just, like, last week was just one heck of a week for me. This week I'll be able to get to those who submitted. But if you guys want, I will be shooting this Friday. So if you're actually available, come on over to LA and let's shoot. Let's shoot. Okay. Mickey, oh, a lawyer. Oh, cool. Can you please ask him about YouTube cases who creates misinformation? Are you going to put it on YouTube? Yes, I'm going to put it on YouTube. Unless, yeah, I'm going to put it on YouTube. Yes. So if anybody is available this Friday, let me know. I plan on doing a shoot this Friday. It's not a plan. I will do a shoot on Friday because the studio is already booked. So I can't let that, I can cancel that. I've already paid for it. Um Jazzy J, sorry to ask this, but what interview? So I'm not sure what interview you're asking, but I extended an invitation to everybody here. If you guys want to be on cam with me, let's hi Apo Bangpo. Let's just have a conversation. It's not really an interview. Let's have a conversation about BTS, how when you started getting, or whatever it is that you want to talk about. So that's the interview that I was talking about. And then the other interview that I was mentioning is the regular interviews that I'm doing now. So I'm interviewing celebrities, experts in the industry, so that you can hear it from the actual sources. So I'm going to interview somebody who specializes in international supply chain, so we can understand, like, distribution deals and stuff like that. Okay. So do please ask him about Hype versus YouTubers. Okay, I will ask that. All right. So that's my plan. Let me know if there's anybody who can do an on-site interview on Friday. Let me know, please. I have a scheduled interview. The studio is already booked. So okay, now for our next topic. Jazzy J said, "My beauty might break the cam." Michelle said, "I'll be on camera." Okay, Michelle. Okay, are you on my Patreon, Michelle? Are you on my Patreon? Okay, so there's this huge issue uh, this last several days on X and on Korean media. Olivia Marsh, which is the sister of Daniel, a member of newjeans, released her first album under Amplify. I guess that's how they pronounce it, Amplify. So the Donita. So okay, wait. Let's answer this question. Where is that? Michelle, okay, can you DM me on Patreon or post on the town hall so I can get in touch with you? And then Donita, what studio, where, and what time on Fridays? The studio where I shoot, it's in the heart of Hollywood. So, like, the heart of Hollywood. That's where I shoot. But the parking is good because they have an actual parking area there, and then an indoor, like a gated parking. And then time, it can be in the afternoon if you want. The lawyer I'm interviewing at 3 p.m, so it could be before or after. So let me know. Okay, so Now, so Backseat is the name of the single that she released. Okay, so let's start from the top. Olivia Marsh is the sister of Daniel of New Jeans, and she's a soloist. So she released an album, and one of the songs in the album is Backseat. She is signed under Amplify. Okay, I think that's how they pronounce it, Amplify. Okay, so now one of the songs is Backseat. That's the title. And then this singer, Dunbar is his handle. Isaac, sorry, the last name, Isaac Dunbar is the name. Said that it's eerily similar to his song, Onion Boy. And he composed it, he wrote it when he was 17. And now they swiped it, they copied it and turned it into Backseat. Okay, so there's like an uproar. So talkies were attacking him, like, why are you accusing her of copying you? Who are you? Blah blah blah. Okay, so now when that was released, when he released that statement on social media, the label of Olivia Marsh released a statement saying that they are aware of the concerns raised regarding Backseat and allegations of plagiarism, and we take this matter seriously, blah blah blah. And they said that they will investigate. So for several days, nothing. It was just radio silence for several days. And then, so though, for those of you asking, by the way, who is Amplify, it is a label under Warner Music, and they signed Olivia Marsh as their first featured artist. So it's like an independent label, not independent. It's a owned by Warner Music, but they operate primarily in South Korea. Okay, so that's what Amplify is. And then after several days, they released a statement admitting that Isaac Dunbar's claims have grounds. So it has merits, is what they called it. And so they apologized and they said that they are now um, making a deal with Isaac Dunbar for copyright sharing. So they're going to split the copyright, the residuals, with Isaac Dunbar. All right. And then Olivia published a chat. So she messaged, well, Isaac Dunbar first messaged her and then radio silence. I guess she was instructed to not talk until they are actually able to settle the case. So after that, Olivia responded to him and apologized and said that she did not know about the song. She said that she didn't know that when she got the song. So apparently she got the song and then she's credited as a songwriter in the album, in the song. And she said that apparently from her tone, it seems that she got the beat and the melody. And she did not know that it was a copy of something else. So she apologized and that was it. Okay. So now let's just try to understand. So obviously, the label owned up to it. She owned up to it to a certain degree. She owned up to it to a certain degree. So they did say that moving forward, they're going to be more careful before they release any song. But let's just pull back and try to understand the difference between plagiarism, copying, or copyright infringement, and taking inspiration. Because Fire Butterfly is asking, did she write lyrics for the melody or the melody? It's not clear. She definitely wrote the lyrics, or at least co-wrote the lyrics, but it's not clear if she's also claiming melody and beats. She's just under the composition. Her name is credited as a composer. That's so, it's not clear. All right. Okay, so let's just understand the difference, because especially nowadays, the word plagiarism is being thrown around like it's just like it's nothing. That it has essentially lost its meaning because people keep on using it the wrong way. It has lost its sanctity. For artists, so that for people who don't know, for artists, that's kind of a sacred thing. For artists, for any creator, it's a sacred thing because it's art. You created that came from you. As you know, if you're an artist, I know you would know that a part of you goes into your art, right? So if somebody swipes what you did, then that's like stealing a certain part of who you are. All right. So now, because of fan wars, because of miseducation and all of those stuff, it's being thrown around like it's nothing, that it has lost the essence of what it actually means. So let's try to understand what it actually is. Okay. Actually, plagiarism is a ethical violation, not necessarily illegal. A lot of people think that plagiarism is a legal matter. It isn't. It's actually an ethical matter. It can have legal repercussions. So plagiarism is presenting someone else's work as your own without proper credit. So if I publish a poem and it was a copy of somebody else's poem and failed to tell people that I was somebody else's poem, that's plagiarism. It's an ethical offense, but it's not necessarily a legal one. Okay. Now, I am sure you know this, but the one example of this would be the dance the dance routines that were copied by newjeans from other routines and from other acts, right? So that's an ethical violation, right? It's an ethical violation, but it isn't necessarily a legal violation. It's an ethical violation, especially because they passed it on as if it was theirs and started accusing other people of being copies. But the truth is that they also copied, and when they got caught, the director actually admitted that they did copy or something like that. So it's an ethical violation, but because a dance step cannot be copyrighted, it's not a legal violation. All right. So a copyright, everything that I'm going to say, you can actually get from the copyright law of the United States handbook. And this is something that we studied heavily because if you're in the media industry, that's what you do. You have to know this. Okay, so plagiarism in music is typically determined based on substantial similarity between two works, whether or not there is intention. So it doesn't matter whether you intended to copy or not, whether it is coincidence or not, for as long as there is substantial similarity, that is plagiarism. Okay. So tricky thing. Okay, so how do you know when there is plagiarism, when there is copyright infringement, which is the legal term? When there is one substantial similarity, courts and musicologists, for example, analyze whether the copied work is substantially similar to the original, focusing on melody, harmony, rhythm, structure, and lyrics. So, lyrics is the easiest to actually determine, although not straightforward as well. But it's easier. But for example, for melody, if you twist it a little bit, that's already different. But if they can get experts, courts and musicologists, these are experts, and they will determine if the rhythm, the harmony, the melody, and the structure are the same. Next is, oh, sorry. So this is based on US Code 107. This section grants copyright holders exclusive rights, including reproduction, derivative works, and public performance. So this is where it is based. Now, one example of that is one way to, and then, sorry. So the other thing is access to original work. So even if there is substantial similarity between two songs, you still need to prove that the person who supposedly copied had access to your work. If it is just similar, but you can't prove that the other person could have possibly heard your work, then that's not plagiarism. You still need to prove that I had access, or whoever copied had access to the original work. Okay. So one example of that is the Isley brother. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. They sued Michael Bolton for a song. And I can't remember the title of the song. So Michael Bolton said that they initially his defense is that I didn't have, because the song is substantially the same. So according to experts, according to musicologists, they um they the two songs are very very similar. But Michael Bolton was insisting I there was no way I could have had the access to the song. So it's not possible that I plagiarized it because I never heard the song before. I have never heard the song before, or I've never had any access to this before. Okay. There is also a case called unconscious copying. So again, this is when just because you didn't have access doesn't mean you did not plagiarize. Okay. If there is substantial similarity between the two, even if you can prove that you have never heard the song before, but they are similar, substantially similar, that is still called plagiarism. One example is George Harrison's My Sweet Lord. George Harrison was able to explain and prove, I have never heard of your song before, and this is the process of the development of my work. But the court said, yeah, but they're still substantially the same thing. You were able to prove that you've never had any access to their work, but it is substantially the same. So he was still asked to pay a fine. Okay. So that's unconscious copying. And that is based on US Code 102A. Okay. Um, so in this case of the Isley brother versus Michael Bolton was actually made to pay 5.4 million in damages, and the Court of Appeals upheld the decision. Okay, so he won the case. The Isley brothers actually won the case, even though Michael Bolton was able to prove that he couldn't have had access to the work. Now, some other cases of plagiarism. Again, remember, plagiarism doesn't necessarily have any kind of legal ramifications. It can have legal consequence, but copyright infringement is the legal term. All right. So in Espa's case, it was a huge uproar because the original, their Black Mamba, the lead, their very first single, the visual was a black mamba, no, a snake in a train, and an artist actually published his work on his or her Instagram several months before, and it was the exact same concept. It was a snake in a train, and then the other image was butterfly in a train, or butterflies in a train. So people went to the Instagram of the original artist and called his attention. And then the original artist said that, I received many messages. They didn't ask me. So it seems that they copied. That's what he said. Now, what SM Entertainment, was called the artist. And it was actually a good statement, because they said that in their statement after they called the artist, they said that they did not, that they explained to the original artist their process of creating, and that the original artist has no objection towards what they have done. So that wasn't really clear on what they did, but that's what they said. Okay. And then another case of plagiarism is new jeans and jeans. So there are very strong similarities, substantial similarities between the visual. They copied the font, they copied the dance steps, the lighting, the entire idea, from jeans. But because jeans does not hold any kind of copyright, any copyright over these things, then there is no legal ramification or legal consequence for their plagiarism. Again, plagiarism is the ethical violation, copyright infringement is the legal violation. The ethical violation can have legal ramifications if they have legal ownership of that thing that is being copied. For jeans, they did not have any legal ownership of this entire thing, so they couldn't sue. Okay. These are some more similarities, things that New Jeans copied from Jeans, and then they copied from other groups as well. The other thing that we need to consider when it comes to music, allegedly, not allegedly, this is proven. As much as we think there's endless possibilities in music, it isn't. So, someone actually made a sequence of 12 musical notes, all the combinations that you can make out of the 12 musical notes played in a row, right? So, there are 12 musical notes, right? So, what this there are two guys, and what they did is they asked the computer to generate all possible combinations of those 12 musical notes. So and they when they did that in one octave, so without repetition, and it resulted to 12 to 68.7 billion different combinations. So that's still a lot, but there's also a lot of people who are making music. So essentially, what this means is that no matter what kind of combination you create within that 12 musical note, it's already been made. Someone already generated that, is already there. So no matter how original you think you are, you're not, because that a computer already generated all possible combinations. So that is why it is very hard to prove that you are an original, but also hard to prove that you're copying, because no matter what you have done, it's already a copy, because it's already been generated 68.7 billion different combinations. Okay, so that is just to give us some perspective on what happened to Olivia Marsh. So it is very possible that she really was not aware that the song that was given to her was a copy of something else. It shows that while melodies seems infinite, they are mathematically limited. It's a lot, 62 billion, but it's still limited. That's why some songs sound similar and why copyright cases in music can be tricky. Many melodies may be repeated unintentionally. Okay. So all right. So those are just, I wanted to oh, okay. So copying is a legal violation. Taking inspiration is, that's ethical, and you don't have any legal responsibility over it. You There is no legal ramification because you're just taking inspiration. um Anybody, for example, um who what is a perfect example? Oh, for example, J Hope, he took inspiration from J Cole's Cole World, J Cole World, right? So because, and he was very open about it because that's his idol. So he, from the beginning, he already mentioned it. Everyone knows that he really likes J Cole. So that is an example of an inspiration. So he took that same concept of creating an alternative world, and then he created his own. It's an idea that he took inspiration from, and then he created his, that is entirely his. Another would be Jimin's taking inspiration from Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. He was very open about the fact that it inspired him to sort of create a separate band. That's why he has his own band. That's where he was inspired from. But he didn't copy Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. He created his own. So that's ethical. You're taking inspiration from something, but you're not copying it. Okay. So now for Olivia, it is good that she admitted that. I mean, it's pretty useless to deny it anyway, because it's so obvious that it was a copy. The similarities were striking. So it's good that she admitted, she came forward, she apologized to the original artist. Second is that I hope we don't, let's stop using and mentioning her in her in relation to her sister, Danielle of New Jeans. She has nothing to do with that, with her sister and whatever her sister is going through. I mean, sure, she may be supporting her sister. She may be, and that's natural because they are sisters. She may be expressing some strong opinions about it, but publicly, she has never said anything about the entire case, not against BTS, not against Lesser Earth, and nobody. So let's not involve her in whatever issue armies are taking against her sister. Third, even though her parents were involved in this entire ADOR thing, it still doesn't mean that the sin is transferred to her, right? She's still a different person. She is her own person, and we need to respect that. Um, that being said, this is a lesson to everybody else. Um, and I may be speaking to the choir here, but this is just, it goes to show just how groundless and baseless plagiarism accusations are, right? Because this is a straight up copy, so perfectly copied that I think the only difference is that they put in some instruments to make it seem different, and then they changed the lyrics, but everything else is an exact copy. But for people to still forgive this means that all the other accusations that other people are raising against It, Le Seraphim, whoever, are even more baseless. Because that's like similar hair. Or whatever. And this is like an entire song that you that you swiped. So it's just, it goes to show, it demonstrates just how ridiculous these discussions are about copying. I've been hearing about, oh, he copied the font, he copied the color, they copied the color. And it's like, this is an entire song that was swiped, and people are just like, okay, that's just how it is. And you're talking about similarities in color, in fonts, and whatever. It's just so unreasonable. So, and yes, I do agree. So Celeste is saying that it's not about plagiarism, it's about hate. Yes, absolutely. But for we always have to take the no, it is kind of irritating, but the truth is that we do need to take the higher road, right? Primarily because we're we're supporting BTS, and BTS is such a class act, right? So if we ever want to prove that we're actually living their values and their message, we need to behave the way that they behave, and they behave with class. So we just need to take the high road, no matter how much it sucks, because it does suck. It sucks to take the high road. Sometimes it's kind of just, especially if you can do if you have a gotcha moment, it's so tempting to just respond. But at the end of the day, you have to think about, okay, but which artist am I really admiring? Which artist am I claiming to love the message of? And that is BTS. And they were never about bullying, they were never about petty quarrels, they were always about deeper message. And so we just need to copy, we need to take after them, basically. um I see no shorts mentioned, I report the post. Okay. um Danita said, or was it circles that you couldn't use? Dang it, I can't remember. The arms, I think. um okay, Fire Butterfly said, unless it's by someone I support giving news, only posts that support Roach or shorts. Bang Luna said, sorry, Fairy Lane, I want to be Goddard Snipe sometimes. I want that too. Believe me, it's not easy. It's not easy to take the high road. But as I've said, at the end of the day, I have to think about, okay, which message am I living? And then the other thing is, I think at the end of the day, the best response is always success, right? That's it. That's the best response. It's always success. And I know that it's killing so many people that who is on his 30th week inside Billboard Hot 100. It's killing a lot of people that J-Hope sold out almost all of his venues. And the only reason he hasn't sold out LA is because we just had the fire. People lost their houses. So people here really don't have any money. So it's amazing that there that he's actually, there's only like 200 tickets left, and I think it's gonna sell out. So all of those, like, it's so, it's killing them. The all of this, like, Jin is going to attend Jin is going to release another album for sure, I think, and then he's going to attend the fashion week, and he's going to take front and center there again, and he's going to draw in the crowd, and they're going to again hear the screams of people screaming for his name, and they hate that. They absolutely hate that. They hate that even when Jungkook has been on hiatus and hasn't released anything since 2023, he's still breaking records. That no one still, his record for having the most number of weeks inside Billboard Hot 100 remains unshaken. They absolutely hate that. They absolutely hate that RM is getting all this critical recognition from different film festivals. So I think those things, that's the best response. And even with Le Seraphim, as you know, I love Le Seraphim. I think this next album is their breakthrough in the US, and they're going to and people are going to absolutely hate it. But I think that is going to be the best response. When they start, I am calling it, they're going to get into Billboard Hot 100. They're going to break their record for the highest, for their highest ranking entry. um, and I think they're going to have a sold out tour, of course, a smaller one, but this is going to be their first North American tour. And people are going to absolutely hate that. But that is the best response, because you can't you can't question that, basically. Um, will be hard to not look smug. Okay. It's hard to take high road. It's hard to take the high road when I see some of the comments from bunnies, but I won't post anything that could be considered bullying. It is, yeah, it is. But what I do whenever I see something like that, it is I just post a BTS achievement, or a lesser of him achievement, or an islet achievement, or a twice achievement, or a stray kids achievement. You know, the groups that I like. Mamamoo achievement. Sometimes I would post even a girls' generation achievement. Oh no, I have not posted any girls' generation. Have I not? I think I have. Um, album review of Les Seraphim. Yes, I'll do an album review of Les Seraphim. My God, their latest teasers, they're so good. Have you all seen it? I will not forgive you if you haven't. It's so good. Their latest teasers. Bunnies are really children. Yeah. So, whenever I see something like that, I just, okay, you say that, I'm going to post an achievement of BTS. Like, try to match the 32 weeks of Dynamite. Go ahead and try. um like, for I am calling it that he's going to tie the record of of Gangnam Style. And a lot of people are like, oh, I have never heard of that song. Like, Gangnam Style, the entire of America knows about it. It's not true, but like, everybody in America knows that. And my response is that, yeah, that was pushed by Scooter Braun, the guy that you hate so much. It was marketed by Scooter Braun. So, who was not marketed by Scooter Braun? He still did that good. So, you know, success is the best response. Okay. Um, they are goddesses, Les Seraphim. They are goddesses. Yeah, I'll do a review. My bias is, I think everyone knows this, Hayun Jin, and then my bias record is Sakura. The Seraphim did an amazing performance of Crazy on AMAs. Oh, yes. AMAs, they were good. They were very good. Really great. That's why I said I think they are in the cusp of a North American breakthrough. I think they'll get there with this album. So I can't wait for the release. Okay. How many years ago? How many years ago was that? Streaming was so different then. Oh yeah, streaming was so different. Um, yeah, streaming was so different, and also Gangnam Style had radio play. So as I've said, it was supported by Scooter Braun, and that at that time the edge that Scooter Braun had was that Justin Bieber was actually at the peak of his career, and then Ariana Grande was just breaking through. So his name was such he was such a huge presence in Hollywood. So he played it to his advantage. He used it to his advantage when he was pushing Gangnam Style. Okay. I'm sorry, but why did no one before BTS think to plan out releases of their boy band member solos when they went to do their mandatory service? I mean, it's no surprise they all knew because the members usually um, boy bands get they kind of start feeling the itch on the seventh year. They kind of want to do their own thing, their solo thing, and then they get to a point where they are popular enough that they feel like they can hack it on their own, and many of them do. But by the way, I'm not knocking on them. Many of them are able to hack it on their own. So it's like instead of planning to shorten the number of years when they are not together, they do the opposite and they actually plan to lengthen that time so that people can do their solo activities longer. That is the answer to your question. Okay. Fire Butterfly, nothing shady about Scooter. Taylor Swift made him a bad man. I've always said this about the the fight of Scooter and Taylor Swift. This was a corporate war. They were going against each other. This was business. Taylor Swift wanted to change her mind and wanted to either she changed her mind about owning her masters or that she just simply did not want Scooter to have it. And Scooter was fighting to have the masters of Taylor Swift because that's going to make him money. And so Taylor Swift used her resources, which is the her fans making noise. She used her resources in order to gain the upper hand. And Scooter, on the other hand, used his negotiation techniques in order to resell the masters, which he was able to do, and he gained money. So that was like these are just two savvy businessmen fighting it out. That was what it is, and people like just made it like they made it so like this is like one greedy person fighting it. These are two savvy business people who wanted something and they were not holding back. They were more than willing to use the resources that was in front of them. And that to me that is there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's business, right? So Scooter Braun is no worse and no better than any other executive in Hollywood. So that's it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I really don't care about him. I'm not interested about him. I was interested in how he was promoting, how he was able to promote many songs that like what's that irritating song? Let Me Take a Selfie. That was his. He made it popular. He made Gangnam Style popular. So I studied how he did it because I wanted to know how he made and pushed the songs. Other than that, like I'm not really interested. He's just like any other executive in Hollywood. No better, no worse. Jessica Moyer said Taylor was a bully. In my opinion, she was legally offered her master's and declined several times. Okay, yeah. So she was offered. That was the story. She was offered the masters. According to her, they did not agree on the price, and so the label that owned the masters had to they wanted to sell it. And so Scooter Braun was willing to buy it. And I guess she changed her mind, either that or she simply did not want it to be Scooter Braun to be buying her masters. So she wanted it back. So that's where they started going into war. It was Kelly Clarkson who gave her the idea to re-record her masters. But even before she finished re-recording her masters, Scooter Braun, in the middle of this war, while they were like at the height of the war, he was able to resell the masters to somebody else. And so he still made money. He made a lot of money in that deal. So that's what I was saying. Like, Scooter Braun used the resources that he had. He's very good at negotiating. And Taylor Swift was using the resources that she had, and that was like public opinion. So she used it to her advantage, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. For me, that's how I look at it. So who's evil? Who's like, they're both business savvy with different resources. That's what it is for me. Okay. Okay, it's a lot. So I'm skipping a lot of anyone saying that Taylor Swift was offered her masters and declined them is a lunatic. Okay, so Danji saying that she was not offered. I'm pretty sure she was offered. Taylor Swift said that she was offered the masters. She was just not told that they were going to sell it to Scooter Braun, and I think that's what she didn't like. She didn't like that it was going to go to Scooter Braun. Um, so yeah. Do you think Jin will perform? Do you think Jin will perform as a guest artist in J Hope's World Tour? I think he will. I think he's going to perform. I think as a guest. I think he's going to perform. I think J Cole will appear and Becky. So those are the three. I think Pharaoh is going to perform. Um, my gut is that they are going to perform. So for Pharaoh, I think is going to perform. I I think for the American leg, for the US leg, no, there will be no guest on his last day in the US. Um, because it's his last, something like that. Okay, Danji's asking, Fairlane, if you owned a house and the deed was offered to you without having to pay more, would you say no to the bank just because the next door neighbor wants the house? Um, so the because the music industry is just so crazy. I mean, in the way that they've divided, this is a fundamental flaw of the music industry, by the way. I personally don't agree that publishing rights should be separate from the masters, but it is. Like, just like, it's crazy. And I've discussed this in the past live. Like, I think the more you understand how it works, the crazier it becomes. So that's just the reality of the matter. Those are two separate ones. And so when they were selling it to her, she said no, and that's when they started to shop around. I think that's after they started to shop around and they were starting to land on Scooter Braun, because the father of Taylor Swift co-owns some of the father of Taylor Swift made money off the deal as well. So when she learned that it was Scooter Braun, that's when she said she didn't want to sell it. And but by the time the contracts were already signed and he already had it. So according to the story, Scooter Braun was starting to renegotiate to sell it back to her, but she didn't want to because, of course, Scooter Braun wanted gains out of that sale. So none of you know what ownership is. That's just how just the music industry is. Like, I don't agree with it, but it's a fundamental flaw. Like, the publishing rights and the masters, those are two separate ownership, which I also don't agree with that. It's just, but that's how it is. So she had to that's what she did. So that's why Kelly Clarkson actually suggested you just re-record the masters, then, because they have the publishing rights anyway. So said re-record the masters, then they don't have anything. So, and which is what she did. Okay. um I keep thinking you're saying feral, not Farrell. Farrell is my accent, my Asian accent. um she had to buy back her own work. Crazy. Yeah, but I mean, it's the fundamental flaw of the music industry. I don't agree with it. Just want to make it clear, I don't agree with it. I think the masters and the publishing rights should be one and the same, but that is like a bigger conversation that should happen in the music industry and the legislate and the like the whoever makes the laws. So okay, so let's continue. Let's go to the next topic. Oh, by the way, so this is so funny because last week they at new jeans endorsement of Calvin Klein was announced by several mainstream media in the US, like Billboard and Rolling Stone, and it was so funny that they kept on using NJZ, and I'm sure that we all remember that Hybe and Adore already requested all media companies to start using New Jeans, to refer to them as New Jeans. And they still keep on using NJZ. And that's when I realized, my gosh, the influence of Adore and Hybe to the media industry is almost zero. Because look at Billboard, they're not even doing the parentheses. Other media companies would refer to them as NJZ, but they would put the parentheses New Jeans. But Billboard, Rolling Stone, all these media companies, mainstream media companies in the US, they're not even putting the parentheses. So I thought, this is how poor the influence of um, Adore and Hybe are on the media industry, the mainstream media of in the West. That is how little the influence is of Adore and Hybe are on the Western media industry, that they couldn't even make them follow their request. They couldn't even make them do their request. And so I realized that this is, after all the successes of BTS, after everything BTS has achieved, this is the condition that their own label can't, that their own, that the this industries, this mainstream media industries can't accommodate the request of their label. Um, and that is, I think, both good and bad, because that only goes to show that whatever BTS is able to achieve in the future, um, whatever headlines hit, whatever the media say about them, it will be a reflection of their work and not of the influence of Hybe or Adore. Because as we can see, Hybe and Adore have no influence on this media companies in the US. So it just, like, I was just thinking, it just crossed my mind, and I thought I'd mention it here. It's both, I guess it's both liberating to know that no matter the achievement of the companies, the achievement of BTS, it will be theirs and theirs alone, and not because of the influence of Hybe or Adore. um Mickey, don't watch Billboard content or don't buy Calvin Klein. um so so yes, I think the contract of CK, that was through Adore, because usually these types of contracts, it takes quite a while before it gets, it's implemented, it's executed. So yes, so I definitely think that this was coursed through Adore. But JK is still a CK ambassador, so I don't want to, I definitely don't want to boycott it, because JK is still there. And I guess the only thing is, how are we going to make sure that when we purchase a CK product, that it's actually credited to JK and not to anybody else, right? So, yeah, but I definitely think that their contract with CK was still under Adore. Okay. So Fire Butterfly said, Elizabeth, Besco, I'm going to report every CK post with those brats. uh, I am surprised with JK being under contract with CK. So a lot of people are actually making a big deal out of this. Jungkook said in one of his interviews that he specifically wanted CK because he uses it every day. And he said that when he at least his plan during the vacation, remember it was his vacation, he wasn't planning on doing any kind of project. So his plan was that if he was going to come out of his vacation, he wanted to sign under a brand that he uses regularly. Oh my God, we have 1,200 people here. To the 1,200 people here, hello. So thank you for watching. If you are late, we're going to go on a tour in Seoul, Korea. Join us. Okay. Um, yeah, so Hoan said he likes CK underwear. Yeah, so he specifically mentioned because he uses this every day. He specifically signed under this. So this was the one that he pursued um because he uses it every day. The other thing though we need to remember is that we are when they were signing all of these brand ambassador deals, they were on their way to serve in the military. And that really limits their ability. Um, and the opportunities that they can pursue. Okay, um, so even if there are many other offers, they couldn't pursue it because they were already set on when they were going to enter the military. So specifically for JK and Jimin, because they served together, they had to file the application 3 months, at least 3 months before they actually entered the military. So they entered the military December. That means as early as September or October, they already filled up their application to serve together. And so any campaigns that they would do will have to end right around October, November, right? Because other than that, they will not have any time anymore. Now we know that Jimin actually recorded his second album, and then JK had his own like mini European and US promotions. So they had to make do with the time that they had. Now, word on the street, and this is but nothing but rumors, is that it was for some of the BTS members, they consciously wanted a shorter contract with their brands because they were going to enlist in the military. But that's just like rumors. Okay, Disha Jelly is asking, Asian Entertainment and Culture, is the contract between Gucci and Hani terminated? I am asking as Jin is also a Gucci ambassador. It's still on. So, yeah, she's still an ambassador. Do you remember JK promoting CK while doing the laundry? um, KAG, I will not buy anything NJ promotes. That is a good, yeah, that's a good, but just for CK because Jungkook is still ambassador of CK. Um, CK is a great brand for sure. It makes sense they would want new jeans. So fitting, right? It just sucks that these girls are getting away with all the other nonsense. What about Jenny? Wasn't she also their model? Is she being replaced with new jeans? I think these are two different like markets. Jenny's market is different from Jungkook's market and different from New Jeans's market. And also I would actually now recommend using New Jeans in full. Like when you're posting in social media or whatever, use New Jeans instead of NJ. Because New Jeans is owned by ADOR. Danji, I think you're all giving too much power to these girls. I mean, if they have all the deal to advertise water, will you boycott water? um, Jenny is more into the underwear. Ah, okay. I'm not really paying attention to her campaign. So Jenny is for underwear. Okay. All right. So that was just a thought. I just saw the headlines and I thought like, wow, they're still using new NJZ even after Adore and Hybe actually requested that everybody uses new jeans. And I thought that only demonstrates and shows you just how little the influence is of Adore and Hybe to the Western media. And so when BTS actually starts promoting, like whatever headlines there may be, it's all because of BTS and BTS, because obviously the influence of their label sucks. um, okay, where was I? Oh, here. All right. The next one is just an update on the different lawsuits against Adore. So it was most all of it has already been, well, all have been dismissed already. And I just want to clarify what it actually means. So this is the Chosen Business article about the termination of the lawsuit. So just as a background, Person A was responsible for managing advertising relations following NewJeans' termination of their independent contract in November. So there was this one person who was still employed in Adore who was supposed to take care of all the deals under Adore. And now Hybe learned that this person was actually trying to bypass Adore and go directly connect New Jeans and the companies directly. So, so when Adore learned about it, of course, they audited the person. I don't know if it's a girl. They audited the person, and now the person is saying that they actually bullied her and they forced her to they sort of detained her for 4 hours and confiscated her phone, and so she sued them for misconduct and for bullying. So now the labor ministry reviewed the case, and the judgment was administrative closure. And the newspapers were actually calling it not guilty, which is not accurate. It's not guilty, it's an administrative closure. So what it essentially means is that the ministry ruled that the materials provided by the complainant were insufficient to be substantiated. So it's like there's nothing to go by. We can't even um, investigate this because there's nothing to go by. You have nothing enough. There's nothing for us to investigate, nothing for us to analyze. And so that essentially means that um, the case is put on hold or dismissed without a final ruling on whether they are guilty or innocent, because there's just not enough to go by. So that also means that the case may be reopened in the future. Uh, it is not permanently closed. If these people or someone else can come up with with better evidence, with better pieces of evidence, then they can reopen the case. That's the difference between an administrative closure to a not guilty verdict, because a not guilty verdict means that the court has examined the evidence and decided that the prosecution failed to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Okay. So if it is not a guilty verdict, the court cannot hear the same case again because that would be double jeopardy. But in this case, because it is an administrative closure, if somebody comes up with the pieces of evidence in the future, it can still be reopened. Now, let's just remember that the people who actually filed the complaint outside of this case with the former employee is some fans of New Jeans also filed the complaint about mistreatment, about harassment. All of those were also dismissed. So all the cases are were closed, administratively closed, because they did not have any proper evidence. Okay. So that's just to be clear. So in case, if for example, in the future, they can actually come up with any kind of evidence, then they can reopen the case. So for this case, it was an administrative closure according to the Ministry of Employment and Labor. They could not confirm workplace bullying based on the submitted documents. So they can't confirm nor deny. They cannot say that the evidence is enough or not enough, that the evidence is convincing, not convincing. So this means that they did not find enough evidence to proceed further, but did not necessarily declare ADOR or HYBE innocent. Okay. So those are two different things. Um, in a criminal law, a not guilty verdict means the accused has been tried and formally cleared of any charges. Here, the case was not taken to a trial or a legal proceeding. So just want to make that clear. They're not saying that Hybe or Adore are not guilty. They're just saying there's not enough to go by. So they can still open the case in the future just in case. Has anything connected to MHJ ever had evidence? Not yet. There hasn't been any with enough evidence. And that is one of the major contentions and arguments of people that if she had enough evidence, then she would just file a lawsuit. Considering she likes filing lawsuits, then she would just file a lawsuit. But since she's not filing a lawsuit, means it's not, she doesn't have anything, doesn't have enough evidence. That is the same thing is true with this um complaints about plagiarism or whatever. Then take it to court. If you think it is copyright infringement, then take it to court. Okay. um Law is law. What is not legal not always is ethical nor fair, but it is a price for society and urbanism. I'm not really sure what you guys are talking about, but yes. I agree with the statement law is the law. In the journalism and media industry, we call it dura lex sed lex. The law may be harsh, but that is the law. Like a lot of things I don't agree with, but that is what we it was dismissed without prejudice. That is not what they're talking about. They said it's administratively dismissed. NJ case was heard. So they have a lot of lawsuits right now. There's a lot of cases related to them that are being heard. So as you know, Ador actually filed an injunction because they want the court to declare that the contract that they have is still valid. So that's one case that they have. Um, and I think just based on this is just an opinion. I think Hybe and Ador will start doing they will start filing lawsuits against people and against media once they have the decision. If the court declares that the contract is valid, so everybody else they will start suing. So I think that's what they're waiting for. That is why they're not suing anybody right now, because a lot of people are wondering like, why is Hyde not doing anything? They're not suing anybody. And I think it's because of that, because they're waiting for the decision to be final, and once it's final, they're going to start suing people. Okay, waiting for questions. I'm actually starting to think that many of these 1,300 people that are here right now are just waiting for me to say something that some of this are actually like newjeans fans. She seems to prefer the court of public opinion, doesn't require evidence, just her say so. That is that's a strategy that she was very open about. It was, she's very, from the very first time some of her text messages were revealed, Kakao Talk messages were revealed, she already said that. Like, it doesn't have to be true. They only need to say it, and people are going to latch onto it, especially if it is against type, because people hate type. So, if you would remember, this is the clearest example. She mentioned that V called her in the middle of the night. She mentioned it once and then never again. She has no evidence. Like the timeline doesn't match. People already said like that doesn't like the math is not mathing. Like for her, that's fine. She said it once. That's all she needs to say. Right? And so a lot of haters actually latched onto that. Like, oh, BTS is breaking apart because some BTS members are going to side with her and blah blah blah. So that's all she needs. She needs to say it once, and then people are going to latch onto it. She doesn't need to prove it. At the end of the day, the law firms are the ones winning with their billable hours. The billable hours. Oh my God, they're gonna make millions out of all the court cases. Oh, for sure. So lawyers actually charge you. In some cases, lawyers will charge you their hourly fee, even if the conversation only lasted 15 minutes. That's how they do their billable hours. I had to listen. I had to listen to some of your analysis, but I always get the feeling that you're pro new jeans. I'm sorry, but I feel they have been taking advantage of all the sources that BTS money made easy for them. Um, you're certainly not the first one to say that, and I can't entirely say I am not sympathetic of new jeans. I can't entirely deny that I want the best for them because I do. I also can't deny the fact that I still feel um, that at the end of the day, Min Hee Jin is still the one that's sort of running the show. That there's they can still that things can still change for them. That I still like. I don't think it is them. I think it's Min Hee Jin. They were, and that's why I said from the very beginning that all adults failed the girls, and not just Min Hee Jin, but all adults failed the girls, not just Min Hee Jin, but that includes Hybe, and that includes the former CEO of Hybe, um, Bang Shiyok. Because why on earth would you allow somebody like Min Hee Jin to manage girls? But then also, I've also said in the past that everybody makes hiring mistakes. The best judges of characters make mistake. I think I'm a good judge of character, and I still make mistakes. So that's not a strange thing to happen, even the best of us. So get tricked. So yeah, so I think but it's just a little bit more critical. This mistake is critical because there's five girls that are involved. Shelling said MHJ is very quiet. She can't she's this is very strategic for her. She can't be noisy because the five girls are making their moves. So if she makes noise, then people are going to connect her name to that, and she doesn't want to be dragged into it. She wants to make it appear as if this is really the girls that are making their decisions. And they are. It's just that they've been so deep into it. Um, MHJ has played new jeans in their family. She threw them into the fight and she has gone running and hiding. Unfortunately, yeah. So, like a chess player, right? Like send your troops and then let them play the match while you wait for the conclusion. um, where is the shaman? The ex CEO of ADOR was a man. The ex CEO of ADOR was a man, so he got tempted by greed and her family's all the dollars to use the girls. Disgusting, really. Okay. Um, was there more topics? I was going to do one more, which is about BTS, but I think because I need about 13 minutes on that, so I'll do that next time. we're approaching an hour 45. So I just want to take in questions now. If you have questions about anything, let me know. But while you're going through it, let me just 1 second. So I just want to remind everybody, if you want to, so I just want to remind everybody that's going to join me in the suite in LA, please make sure to send me your bias, the name of your bias in Patreon. Please do it in Patreon. If you do it here, I'm going to lose it. Miki said, Miki said, so embarrassing when you read my comments. It's okay. We know each other here. So everybody who's going to join me in the suite, please don't forget to send me your I'm going to remove it. Um so anybody who's going to join me in the suite, please send me your biases, the name of your biases or your bias, just one. And then the size of your shirt. And then since there is dinner inside the for the suite, for our suite in the suite one, ours is one or two. We so I think we need to be there like an hour before so we can sit down and actually eat. Although food is just going to be there the entire time almost, so if you want to come in later you can do that, but I was just hoping that we can spend a little bit more time just talking before the actual start of the show. um so that, and then I am going to check if you can actually um so I'm not sure. So I'm just reading, like, some of the chat is getting out of hand now. I'm not sure because I'm not seeing Danji, and it seems to be that you're talking to her. So it's either Danji blocked me or something. But I'm not seeing her. So I don't know what to do, and I'm also not sure what you guys are talking about. That's the truth of the matter. So for those, so just going back to the suite, so please be there a little early. I will get the tickets. They told me 10 days before the actual event. So it's on the 4th. So I'm not going to get it until the last week of March. So then I will get in touch with everybody so that I can pass the ticket to you guys as soon as I get it. Other than that, we are going to, if you guys are free on Saturday, so that the suite is going to be Friday. If you are going to if you're free on Saturday, you guys might want to go on a Korean barbecue with me, just let me know. But I will be talking to you on the 4th anyway, so I hope you guys can stay one more day and we can have like lunch in one of the Korean barbecues here. Fire Butterfly said, I lied, my brother lives in San Diego. That's 2 hours from LA. Yeah, that's 2 hours from LA. That's where I went like skydiving. um so yeah, so that's those are just my reminders. And also please don't forget to download a third or a second music streaming platform so that we can help push who for another week. Okay. Okay. uh all right. Let's say, okay, what is up with you today? First, you put everyone down saying none of us know how the music industry work, and now this. Okay, can we all breathe? Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. Okay, everybody breathe. Is this because of the? Just answer me. Is this because of the Taylor Swift Scooter Braun thingy? Are we still there? Can I join, Beth? Can I join you in Korean barbecue even if I'm not joining the suite? Of course, Beth. Are you in my Patreon? If you're in my Patreon, I'm going to create like a Telegram group, or maybe Telegram or WeChat, or what else do they use outside of Telegram? just so the communication is faster. So it's like a text messages. I cover the plagiarism case, Rose. Yes, I did. Sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. Yes, they are about it. Okay, so let's just get to the bottom of this, okay? And then this is going to be my closing, and then everyone's going to take a breath, and then we're going to like have a great evening and have a great sleep. Okay, so this is the case. As for the music industry, there is just what is Telegram? It's like WeChat, something like that. um Fairlane question: Are you do you believe in tarot card? I don't believe in it. I do not believe in it. I'm neutral about it. I'm neutral about it because someone actually did a tarot reading for me, and they came true. I was like, okay, whatever, and but it came true. So you know, so I'm not believing in it. I'm not believing in it either. We WhatsApp maybe. Oh yeah, WhatsApp is what I'm talking about. WhatsApp. Nigma, first time in the chat, but had been watching your live stream since last year. Oh, thank you, Nigma. I hope that you can join us again. Okay, so let us okay, so I'm going to close with this so that we can all have like a great evening. Um so let's stop the discussion about let's stop the discussion about Scooter Braun and Taylor Swift. And this is how I always view it when it comes to discussions like this. Take it like as a learning experience more than anything, because like a lot of the things that happen in many of the cases, we don't really know about it, right? So just chill. Okay, now in the music industry, the masters rights, the owner of the song, is separate from the publisher's rights. And that's just a given. Like even before we all became fans of whoever, that's just a given in the industry. Those are two separate things. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But that is just how things are. Fatima, salamat. So that's just how it is. So now what happens is that usually, so if I record the song, I own part of the masters together with the label. Sorry, the label owns the masters. So, well, depending on the contract, I guess you can own the masters as well. And then there are publishing rights. So, Taylor Swift, when she was starting out, of course, she wasn't as big yet. So she was signed to this label. They own the masters, and then she broke away from the which she has absolutely, she has the right to do that. Now, her father is actually part owner of the company that Fairy you're a saint for dealing with people like you do. So her father was actually part owner of the company that owned the masters of her songs, right? Okay. So I guess the owner of the company, the one who owns the masters, wanted to make money out of the song already, which is natural because they're in business. They're not, I guess that's one of the things that we need to remember. Like these labels, marketing companies, whoever, they're not there because they love the art or whatever. They're there because they want to make money. So they wanted to sell the masters the same way. So they wanted to sell the masters. Okay. So they offered it, I believe, which they later on confirmed, they meaning both Scooter Braun and Taylor Swift, that it was first offered to Taylor Swift. They did not arrive at the right price. Now, Danji's point is that that is absolutely ridiculous because that's her song. She was the one who recorded it. And again, I absolutely agree with you. In an ideal world, she should own it. Um, I think the writers and the singer, especially because Taylor Swift is so big, so automatically she should be part owner of the song. I absolutely agree with you that she should own it. Absolutely. There is absolutely no question about it. So, all your questions on do I think it is right, or do we think it is right that she doesn't have all the rights over her own house? Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. She should. She absolutely has to. Okay, so that's in an ideal world. But in the music industry, that's just not how it works. The owner of the platform, the owner of the publishing rights and the master's rights, those are two separate things. So she had to buy it back if she wanted her masters, but they did not come to a price that they all will agree on. And so the owner of the masters, the company, wanted to make money out of their catalog. So Scooter Braun bought it. They shopped around and they liked the price that Scooter Braun was offering. And that's when Taylor Swift felt, okay, I don't want him to own it. So she was trying to renegotiate. So she, again, this is all, she was using the resources that was offered to her and that she had, and Scooter Braun also was using the resources that he had, because he already bought the masters, right? He already made an investment, so he needed to make the her money back. And so they were starting to, so Scooter Braun was willing to sell it back to her, but again, they did not come to a price that they both agree on. And is it right? No, it's her song, so she should be owning it. But again, the ideal is still different from reality. So when they didn't come to a price, Scooter Braun went to somebody else. So this is at the height of this controversy. Scooter Braun went to somebody else and sold the masters in the middle of all of this controversy. In the meantime, Taylor Swift was advised by Kelly Clarkson to re-record the masters, because then she said, well, then they don't own anything. If you re-record it and you have enough pull by this time, then radio will just play the your version. So they have nothing essentially, which is what she did. But before she could finish, because it's not a, she's not like a she's not a robot. It's not going to take her like a day to record all the songs, right? So it took her like months and months to finish all of the recordings, her masters, the past songs that she had. Okay, so then that's what happened. She re-recorded, and I believe radio is actually using her version, if I'm not mistaken. In the meantime, Scooter Braun doesn't have the masters anymore. She sold it. Now, one thing, do I think this is just my personal opinion? I think they both played their hands well, business wise. She was able to get people on her side. On the other hand, Scooter Braun was able to make money out of his initial investment in such a short span of time. I think he was able to, he earned like 75 million or something like that. And he had it for like 3 months only. So for you to earn 75 million in 3 months, that's a good return of investments. It's a fantastic return of investment. But on the other hand, now that is worth nothing because she has the masters of her songs, because she re-recorded everything. And then after she re-recorded everything, she resold it to the market. So she made money again. So, win-win for everybody. So it was happened. Again, is it fair? No, it's not fair. But that is a bigger conversation that the entire music industry has to discuss, and most likely the legislative department, whoever is going to make laws based on this. Because yes, I do think that the artists should have rights to her songs. That I believe that. But as of now, right now, while we are talking, singers do not automatically have the rights to their songs. Not automatically. Some of them do. So that's part of their contract, like BTS, for example. Okay, so that's it. I hope that's clear to everybody. And I am amazed there's still like 1,300 people. So just stream J Hope, stream Who, and I am all going to be seeing you in the next live. Michael Jackson owned the Beatles. I think he sold it, didn't he? He sold it back to Sony, was it? He owned it for a while and then sold it. To be okay. On a good note, we are almost into digits. Two two digits until, oh, 2 digits, yes. Oh yes. So in 4 days, it's going to be down to 99 days or 5 days, right? So, yes. Okay, so good night, everybody. And I can't wait to see you all in first in the live streaming of J Hope. And then I'm going to see you all in the concert. My next live is going to be Wednesday. I'll see you then. And then I'm going to have a Patreon only live stream. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Bye.